down to the nitty gritty. Let's discuss it. Hi guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to DeJ'scussions here. I am Deej Rachel. I'm the host of this show. Today we have a health wellness advocate, the creator and owner of Caribbean Craze, the creator and owner of Eat a Cure. You're also a poet, author, Dragonfly. So I love to introduce to you my aunt, Marcia Marie.
Hello, everyone.
So, I'm really excited today because we are supposed to be talking on transitions, right, throughout life and different things like that. So, I'm not going to talk too much. This is not about me. I do not have the info today. This is all my aunt. So, I'm going to give the floor to her.
Hello, everyone. Again, my name is Marcia Marie, and it was laid on my heart that people tend to go through transitions in life, and then sometimes you don't have the tools, you know?
Yeah.
So, especially with the way that the world is today, the contents of where we're either stuck at home or might have had to change careers, homeschool, whatever. But just in general, your body changes fully every 7 years. Wow. You regenerate cells, you regenerate your body, and there's a new you every 7 years. So I've just kind of got a whim of, in those changes of life, sometimes you get a little stuck.
Yeah.
You ever feel lost?
Yes.
You ever feel a little confused? Especially when you were already on some type of even keel, floating or coasting in wherever you are, and then something happens, life happens, and you're almost shook to your core. You're not sure what to do. You're not sure where to go. You're not sure who you are at that point. And I just felt like God was showing me that if you understand transitions and you learn to use tools to help you in your transitions, then you'll just be a little better on how to navigate through life. So I just wanted to give you guys some tips. What has helped me. Hopefully it'll help you as well as you guys today. I'm going to start, and where it came from, believe it or not, my brother John Gaines had did a sermon on transitioning into simplicity. Now I've always been keen on transitions because I never understood how I would always be so secure at one point in my life, and then all of a sudden as change would come, it would literally kind of shake me where I would like doubted everything, doubted who I was, doubt what I was supposed to be doing. Absolutely. So this way I kind of did some research, kind of did some things, and just want to give you guys some tips and some tools so, you know, when you go through your life transitions. And I recommend people take these. There's 3 tests online that I will give you as free resources. And then you can go from there. Sometimes you can pay a little extra to get a more detailed profile, but it's really not necessary for what you're doing. And even if you know yourself well, even if you understand yourself well, when you go through changes like that, you're often unsure. So this kind of brings you back to a stillness of self, focus of self, so that you can redesign where you may need to be. It doesn't matter whether you're already in a career. You may not even need to change. It may just confirm something for you. But I just wanted to give it to you guys. So for this first part, transitioning to simplicity, during this sermon, he was stating that we have to use what we have to get what God wants. A lot of times we do things based on what we think, what we feel, what we know. And I'm not even saying that those things are bad per se. However, you know, from our background, you know that we learned in our old church that we're all born with value and purpose. Your life has promise and potential as it unfolds in accordance to God's eternal plan. So what I've learned for me, the things that I do may be okay, but they may not last long. Or I may not get a big return or a big benefit. So I had to look internally, come within myself, connect back to my source of God, and find out who I was and what I was really designed to be here for, because each and every one of you are unique. Only something that you can do. I don't care if you're a twin. You are created uniquely. There's something only you could do. Only something that you were created for, and it's necessary. So once you learn to match your giftings with what you do, that's with being born with value and purpose, there's gifts inside of you. Like what you're doing with this, Deej. You have a gift, you know. You have a gift for communication. You have a gift for bringing people together. You have a gift to, as you're doing here, tackle topics that aren't always easy. So that's a gift that God put inside of you. And I remember us talking. You know, were unclear. You know, you did some modeling when you're younger years.
Pageants, all
You've
that.
done pageants. You went to like some type of broadcast training. And we kind of float a little bit with the things we feel we know, and there's nothing wrong with that. But once you tap into God as your source, He can bring that all together for you so that you can be purposeful for life. So that's what it is that I want to give you today. So from that, I see how this fruition has come, where we are today. So I'm proud of you. Keep doing it.
Thank
and I'm going to give you one scripture. I don't want to get too churchy because this is for everybody. So, but it's just my foundation and my backing. So in 1 Peter 4, chapter 4, verse 10 and 11, it says that a measure of faith attached to your gifts for the kingdom to serve others. So there is a online test called spiritualgifts.com. You can go on there. It's free. And you answer some questions about your personality. Don't think too hard. And whatever your first gut response is, that's what you put down. And at the end of the test, it kind of adds up all the answers and kind of categorizes what your giftings are based on your responses. So just some examples: gift of administration, gift of discernment, gift of encouragement, gift of helps, pastor, teacher. There's so many of them. And I just want you guys to kind of find out what is your gift as a representation of the God in you. So that was that part. And then understand that direct relationship between what you're trying to do, that's really a life of service. You're serving yourself to the public, to others. So when you do that, there's a direct relationship between that and faith. So the more you serve, the more you, as there's a saying or a scripture, again, my background, faith without works is dead. So tapping into your gifts, tapping into your strengths within yourself, just makes you better presented to do whatever it is that you even want to do. Once you start to tap into it, you'll want to do it. So it's a personality test. You know, we think we know each other, we think we know ourselves, and then life hits you and you find out you really
don't. I can tell you right now, I'm in the midst of it. Who do you think you are? I don't know. The only secure thing I got right now is the show, okay?
So in those transitions, I had to, the reason why you feel scary or stuck is because a lot of times you have to face yourself, which is not easy to do. However, if you use a couple tools, it'll get you through. So when you have to face yourself, when you have to face the pain of your situation, the pit that you might be stuck in, the lack of what you have or the lack thereof within you or what you need, your frustrations, your mindset, your mentality, and your thought process. All of that gets shaken when you're in a transition. But if you stay grounded and stay to the first thing that you knew or the last thing that you were told, that kind of brings you back to that grounding, which is why I'm trying to get you to go through this. So once you do that, you're going to start to see that you're going to start to build within yourself. But the key is to write it down. Can't go back to what you don't write down.
Mm-hmm.
There's something that says write the vision down and make it plain. Every detail. If it comes to you in a dream, if it comes to you in a vision, if it comes to you based on what somebody said, write it down.
The second.
I don't care if you don't
Yes.
necessarily have to have an everyday journal. That's also good. But the journals are actually good in transitions as well, because you'll see cycles and patterns.
Mm-hmm.
So if you find yourself getting stuck around the same time every year, or around a specific thing, go back and see.
Yeah, because it'll be a lot deeper than what you think it is.
Exactly.
Wow.
So when you go into this journaling, or you write down your visions, you can get more clarity, you get clarification, and go back to clarify. Because a lot of times we start to do something and it evolves to something else, which is nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
But stay true to what it is you first felt, saw, or known. Unless you've revisited it, went back through it, and changed it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So from there, once you do that, that'll start to keep you grounded. So even when you feel unsure, go back to it and remember what was said, because what is said, what was written down is, I don't want to say law, but in terms of manifesting what you're trying to do, it is law.
Yeah.
And then you must also speak it. There's power and energy that comes from speaking. It changes the atmosphere.
Yes.
So if you learn these transitions and learn these tools during your transitions and learning how to navigate through them, you should be able to get through any tough thing in life. And the more you go through it, which is why I said if you write it down, you'll see, okay, I know I felt this, but that doesn't necessarily mean what that is.
Right.
And then you'll start to see and be more planted. You won't feel as lost. You won't feel as confused. I'm only giving you these tests as a tool if you need to change, to see why you may be stuck in a transition, if it's not a normal life change, just to see your personality. As I said, you regenerate every 7 years. So who I was 7 years ago, what I thought about 7 years ago is different.
Yeah.
How I conduct myself from 7 years ago is different.
Yeah.
So where you are in life, I suggest to just take a personality test.
Yeah.
Because you'll be surprised where you may fall in it. You may have like some ideas about yourself. You may have ideas, okay, so meaning you may be I'm trying to give some of the examples. Just bear with me 1 second so I can pull it up.
Yeah.
And sometimes you might look at yourself as a talented person in certain areas, but it's your personality that frames what you do.
Yeah.
So I wanted to give you, it's called the 16 personalities test. So you look up 16personalities.com, and it's another free test. It takes about 12 minutes. It's not that long. There are different questions, and I'll go through like a question or two just so you understand what the test is about. Now on this type of test, there's scenario questions, same like the other test. They'll give you 2 or 3 scenario questions, and you pick which one is most relative to even go by how you're feeling right then and there, because that's part of it, to assess that. So when you do that, you'll find to answer these questions, and then you'll be able to get a same assessment, like I said, for the other tests that talked about the different type of spiritual gifts. So the same with personalities. Now, for me, I'm looking up what I had, and for some reason, here it is. Okay. So, 1 or 2 of the questions. So, this one page has 3 questions. So it says, you have a careful and methodical approach to life. And then there's degrees of agree and disagree. So that's a question. Another one is, you are still bothered by the mistakes you made a long time ago. Another one is, at parties, in similar events, you can mostly be found farther away from the action. So again, agree to disagree.
Yeah.
So it's like 6 or 7 different dots. You just
pick.
answer, and then it puts it together
Gotcha.
to give you the type of personality you have. So I redid the test myself because I just feel like we're forever evolving.
Yes.
So my personality type is a protagonist. And what that means is, for my mind, that's how I interact with the environment. Your personality test shows you how you react to your environment. So this will help you shape and mold from your gifting. So if you can tap into that, then you can be effective at whatever it is you decide to do. So in doing that, I had found out that not only am I an antagonist, it was a protagonist. Sorry.
Protagonist, not antagonist.
I am not an antagonist. Okay. But there were a few things I just found out about myself, which was just very enlightening.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to give you that. Now the last test, because I don't want to hold you too much longer. The last test has to do with love languages. I love to talk about love languages because I am a people person. And I feel like if I learn to understand people better, understand myself better, love languages helps you communicate, show how you communicate love, how you receive love. So what I liked about the personalities test, I've done this a couple times over the years, the span of my life. So now it's so updated where it's for everybody.
The love language test?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So it's called www.5lovelanguages.com.
Yes.
So that is another free test. And in that free test, it can tell you the different types of ways you can take it. So, for instance, if you have a mate, they have a couples version.
Yeah, they do.
Which is good because then that helps you understand how to communicate with your mate better. First, do you know your own language?
Yep.
Do you know how you communicate love, how you receive love? So the second one is a children's quiz, so you could do it for your children so that you can understand them.
That's nice.
And then they have a teens one for bigger kids. And then I did, as it was right now, I did the singles one, as I'm single at this time. So just give you a question or two of what comes up in the test. Another short one, it's not that long.
Yeah, I took this one.
And it says, it's more meaningful to me when someone I love sends me a loving note, text, email for no apparent reason, or I hug someone I love. So it just gives it a question. Another one says, is it more meaningful to you when someone I love does something unexpected for me to help me out with a project, or I can share an innocent touch with someone I love? So it just gives you scenarios, and then you may like them all, but find out what's more meaningful to you. So just kind of answer the questions directly. Don't think too hard.
Yeah, because it'll be sitting there forever. That
was
me.
You'll
that
be
was me. I started drawing. I was
and
like, I do like it when someone hugs me, but I do like it when they tell me they love me.
That's why I said more meaningful.
Yes. That's the truth. She's not lying about that. I think too much. I'm going to take it again.
So the different areas for the love languages are quality time, receiving gifts, physical touch, words of affirmation, and acts of service. And all of this comes off of, is it Cloud and Townsend that did this book, this series?
Is it out of the Boundary? Are you talking about Boundaries?
Yeah.
Boundaries, it was Townsend.
Cloud and Townsend.
Yeah. Yep.
For Boundaries, but I'm trying to think if they did love languages
I don't
as
know.
well. I will double check that for you.
I'll let you know by. You'll have the real information when the when the video's up.
I want to just say it. So what I notice is, and sometimes when you take the test, one or two might be neck and neck with each other, or even tied. So the interesting thing for me, which is why I'm even bringing this up. So I was 30% quality time and 27% acts of service. So they were kind of neck and neck. So the way I receive love is if you give me quality time, that's really speaking to me. That's speaking to what we say our love language. That's what that means. And then acts of service. So that was based on the way I answered the questions. Now here's the funny part. When I took this a couple years ago,
it was different.
It was different. And this is why I'm telling you guys to take these tests every so often, especially when you're stuck in major transitions of life. You might have just graduated school. You might have went to school and wasn't sure about the career that you picked. You might have took a job, not just a job, but I'm talking about like a career and you're feeling like this just is not me. You know, or you might need some push. So when you take these tests, you'll see how confident you really are and capable that you are.
Yeah.
So that's another reason why I recommend take these tests. But the more you tap into who you are and knowing who you are and knowing the abilities within you, the better you'll be able to navigate through life and transitions in life.
Yeah.
That's basically it. I just wanted to give you guys that tidbit, let you know what's available out there for you, and they're free services. So it's kind of like no excuse.
Yeah, no, it is no excuse. It's the truth.
But a lot of people don't know. You know, we talked earlier that, you know, our family was blessed to have a lot of life conversations and we have like a counseling background in our family. We've always been used to relate to people and bring people together or relate to people in masses.
Very true.
It's just a gifting we have, and we take things for granted sometimes. So these normal conversations that we have, you know, when we talk to our other friends, when we talk to our coworkers, when we go to other places, you start to feel like that these are simple things to us that aren't really simple to others.
And you realize.
So I just want to share what we know, share what will get us by, and just give you some good tools. I think once you start to do that for yourself, you'll start to feel more confident in yourself. You'll start to feel more secure in yourself. You'll start to get more clarity on the things that you need to do. I just don't want you, as a final thought, don't get stuck in your transitions. That's all. It's just what it is, a transition. It's a holding place to go from one place to another. Doesn't mean that it's over. It doesn't mean that you're necessarily stuck. And know in those times of preparation, take those times to exhale, to rest, stop trying to figure it all out. And I know that's hard to do because of what life requires from us. But when you take that moment of stillness, that's why people do yoga, meditation, it allows you to slow things down, bring things to a center so they can be focused, so now you can build it back up to give it back out, which is what we were created to do.
No, I definitely agree with that. And I can say that I definitely agree with what Mercy's saying because for myself, like she said, we literally we had conversations. Me and Mercy, we always find it's never planned. Number one, the conversations we have are never planned. They always end up just falling into place, and somehow I'm crying out Mercy about something. But my family encourages it, and they don't mind. So, and that just ended up happening. So I was just upset like months ago, literally about just being so lost. Like I just did not know where I was. I didn't know anything. The quarantine happened, and then I was just like, man, another thing. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like another thing. But actually, it came to my benefit, and I didn't even realize the quarantine was one of the best things that could have ever happened to me personally. Not that the fact that the corona, not that part. I'm not saying that, but being told I had to stay home for X amount of time was actually the best thing that could have happened because it forced me to try new things. It forced me to try things that I would never do. Did my hair. I'm not a hair person. I did my hair.
Yes,
I did my passion twists
and did good.
all over my head. Thank you, Mercy. I did them all over my head, and when I tell you that took forever, it did, and I don't know if I'll ever do it again. But I can tell you that it was rewarding, and I'm very proud to say that I did do it. You know, and I'm just glad to know that honestly I did it, and now I can really say if I don't like it, I really don't like it. You know what I mean? But it helped me. All of those things during quarantine helped me come up with this talk show. It helped me come up with everything. I had to take time to slow down. I had to take time to stop going to work every day and forcing myself to work over 40 hours a week, because that's what I did, because I didn't feel like I could do anything else. So I felt like, well, why don't I just do what I'm good at and I'll go to work all the time? But no, because I decided not to do that, because it was a life transition and different things like that were happening, I had to take time to step back and realize what is really going on here. You know what I mean? What is really going on here? So I had to think it through, and I can tell you, I haven't done all the tests, and I learned a lot from Mom Marcy today, but I can tell you the last part, my own testimony from it, because I'm telling you now, I feel the past 3 weeks I've been planning DeJ'scussions, 3-4 weeks I've been planning this whole thing, and I feel so confident, and I'm doing more work than I was before, but I don't feel as drained.
Because you're operating in purpose now.
And that is what I want to tell you guys. It's literally a testimony, and I really want you to take what she said seriously, because there might be times you feel stuck or you feel lost or whatever it is, and I'm telling you, I don't have everything figured out, but all I know is I'm not super confused, like, oh, what is next? I'm not doing that. I'm just doing what I'm doing now. I'm just doing what I need to do now, and things open up and things fall in line as they go when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
I'm very proud of you, and I've seen the change. I've seen you, even in your situations from doing these things, I see you more calmer. Change is never easy for anybody. It just isn't, and facing yourself is never easy. You know, but I employ people that if you just push through it, you'll be amazed at the things that you find out that are inside of you. Not to mention you get to purge those not so nice things.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You purge that ugliness out, and then you just focus on purpose and move on. That's all.
Yep.
And you'll be so much more fulfilled living the life of purpose, of feeling what you were made to be here to do. And once you tap into that and know that the importance of who you are, that only you could have did it, I don't care if 50 people do it. There's a million talk shows, but nobody can do it like DeJ'scussions can. Okay, nobody can do it. Like
nobody can dance Caribbean craze like Caribbean craze. Okay.
So learn to value who you are. Learn your worth. You know,
learn to learn your worth.
I am worthy.
Yeah.
Shout out to my girl Moshe Loren.
Okay.
Who did the shirts.
Yes.
But it's important to understand your value and your worth. The more you do that, the more you're not shaken. You know.
Yeah.
And the more you can get the fullness out of what you're trying to do.
Yes.
And that's really all you want. You want to make a difference. You want to make a change. And you want to be able to get fullness out of your own life.
Yes, and like you said before, when you were talking before about something more permanent, it'll be more of a permanent type of thing when you start to work on things inside of yourself. It ends up, it's not just the thing that makes you feel good for this amount of time and then eventually you got to find something else. Like, when you work within yourself, these things are everlasting. You know what I mean? You want to keep going with them.
Yes. That's important. I enjoyed this.
Yes,
I enjoyed you. And I'm glad to know that you took heed to the transitions and that you have your own living testimony. Look at where we're at today. This came from a transition in her life. So don't feel bad about where you are. If you feel stuck, even if you are stuck, there's a season for everything. It's not going to last forever. Listen, I was down for a decade. My transition was long. However,
it's powerful. Her testimony is powerful.
To watch me today,
really powerful.
To do what I do, to dance, and it's nothing I would have ever thought I would have did. I was a scientist prior to me getting injured. And then my whole life had to change. So I had to go back through. I had to redefine myself. I had to find out who I was outside of all I knew as a scientist. And in doing that, I'm not saying I'm more fulfilled now, because I was fulfilling that moment in time as well. I fulfilled that season. However, to be and do what I'm doing now, to be able to dance, number one, when I couldn't walk for years, to be able to help others, my energy, my excitement, the joy that I have in doing what I'm doing, and I would have never thought I would have been doing something like this. even my Eat a Cure business of eating yourself well, eating yourself healthy, I still try to do it in a fun way, a tasty way. Our family's from the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
But all of that came through transitions.
Yeah.
So don't despise your small beginnings.
Mm-mm.
Write down your dreams, your visions, thoughts. What was put in you was put in you for a reason. Don't ignore it. And try to get the fullness out of your life. There's so much joy that comes from it.
Yeah.
Even though, and my life isn't great. My situations are still, some are still in transitions and some are still struggles.
Yeah.
But I'm in such a good place because I'm living out my fullest potential.
Mm-hmm.
And that's important. That's all everyone ever really wants, is to know that they matter.
Yeah.
That's really, as humans, as we're created.
Yep.
You want to know that you matter. So the fact that you matter, make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Make an effective difference, an effective change.
Yeah.
Anybody can change. Make it effective.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm done. You can find me at my Caribbean Craze Caribbean Dance Fitness program. It's Caribbean Craze, one word, with K's instead of C's.
Yeah.
So you can reach us at CaribbeanCraze.com. You can reach us at 856-718-9139 or CaribbeanCraze@gmail.com. For Eat a Cure, you can check all of our social media handles as well as for Caribbean Craze.
Yeah.
They're the same name on all social media platforms, with the exception of TikTok. Caribbean Craze is under Craze Wave, which is one of our slogans. Eat a Cure, Facebook. You can use the same business number, 856-718-9139, and it's just like it sounds. Eat a Cure.
I'll have it spelled out on the slide for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have it spelled out for sure.
For the poet Dragonfly, it's under Marcia Moore 238 on Instagram and Twitter, and Marcia 238 under Facebook.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much, you can kind of find me all over.
Yep, she everywhere. She everywhere.
I want to tap into every gift.
Yes.
I want to use up every gift, every talent,
Yeah.
everything. And I'm learning is so much more in me. And that's why I still say, take these tests even when you're grounded. I don't care if you've been doing something 20 years. There's so much more in you.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised. It could be a little hobby that you were thinking about. It could be a little something that you did when you were younger and then life changed and you kind of got to go back to it, or maybe now's the time you can go back to it. But just use it. Take those resources, those 3 free websites, and just learn how to be a better you.
And I noticed what she said, one more thing. I'm a talker, I can keep going forever, obviously. However, one thing that she did say is that she said she has joy. She didn't say happiness, she said she had joy. There's a difference. There's a difference between them. Joy that's you're content, that's how you feel. Now, she's genuinely joyful. Does she still get sad?
Yes.
Yes. But she's generally joyful, meaning that is an inner peace that you have. Happiness, a lot of people are like, I just want to be happy. Well,
it's an emotion in that situation.
And temporary. So that means that you want to be happy for a couple minutes and then no, we want joy. We want lifelong joy.
Amen.
That's what it is.
Yes.
So I just wanted to point that out because I noticed you said that, and I'm like, no, because I know a lot of people my age. I don't know. I'm not speaking for her generation, but for mine, for sure. Everybody my age says, I just want to be happy. That's what all people say all the time.
Yeah.
No, you want joy. Okay.
And then you'll catch my new series called Watch Them Dragons Fly.
Yes.
Hashtag WATCH, and it's DEM because of the I in there.
Yes.
Dragons and Fly, all one word. And that's where you'll see my inspirational tidbits as well. The podcast will be coming out soon, as well as up on the YouTube channel as well.
And this honestly isn't the last time DeJ'scussions has seen Marcia Marie, so she'll be back, don't worry, with more tidbits, more things to tell us, more wisdom to drop on us, and knowledge. So, Marcia, once again, thank you so much. All of her social media platforms, handles, everything, hashtags, everything will be on the screen after this, so you guys have time to find whatever it is that you need, or if you want to screenshot it, whatever, I don't know. But also, guys, thank you so much for joining. Just please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel.
Yes.
Share this everywhere with everyone. This could help. This isn't for me. This isn't to get me out here. It's just to get you guys to get these messages. These messages mean more than anything. Mean more than me speaking or anything.
Yeah.
These things, that's what this show is about. So I just want you guys to be able to learn and understand and educate yourselves off of it. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I will see you guys next week.
Bye.
If you enjoyed this video, please do not forget to like, comment, and share on this episode. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content coming soon. And lastly, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at DeJ'scussions to see updates for the show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll see you all next week.